Greetings, theists and non-theists. Oh, today it is very good. Let's, listen to this guy, Yokeup. Let's see what he has to say. I was very amused when watching this video, so let's see what he has to say.
Comments on the Pastor Disaster videos, because I told him that, you know, he was going to be the big macho guy to go and, you know, get the information, get me removed from YouTube forever. Gee, you didn't find any information. Wow. Wow, shocking, breaking news.
Oh, wait a minute. You're saying you need evidence to believe in something? Shocking, breaking news.
You know, it's all just a part of, not all atheists are completely idiotic, but there's only a very few that are not.
Okay, so you don't generalize, and yet you make the majority of atheists as a bunch of idiots. I'm not seeing the difference. How's that better? And how exactly are you not one of those typical idiots?
You know, and we did that video, Convicted by Jesus. And the thing about it is those atheists out there, you guys, you hear what you want to hear. You hear what you want to hear. Oh, if you didn't have God, you have to have God before you have morals, blah, blah. Well, God is the one who created morality. God, there are no morals without God.
And obviously you haven't heard of Euthyphro's dilemma. Okay? I have yet to hear a good response on why in believing God as a source of morality is and of itself not circular.
You're just borrowing them from God's people and from God's teaching.
Yes.
We said in the video, it was our story, that before we had Christ, we were of the world. When you're of the world, for us, and for many others, it's like, you care less about that stuff. There's no accountability. Which is true in the atheist community. There's no accountability.
Okay. So you're basically contradicting yourself. You're saying, oh, it's your little personal story, and yet atheists still do not have character. They still do not have morality or personal convictions. You're saying one thing, then you're saying another. Come on, Yokeup.
Here on YouTube, the atheists do whatever you want, say whatever you want. Words don't matter. And you love to find people who are faking to be Christian who are of the same kind of activity. You got the Pastor Disaster out there. This dude is a pathological liar. That's why you guys love him. It's like, oh, we love him, you know, because...
Actually, Yokeup, I love you, man, because it can't get any better. You have proven my points for me. Everything I could say about religion and how it promotes ignorance and bigotry, boy, all I have to do is watch your videos, Yokeup.
This label, he's falsely put this label Christian on him, and so you love.
Of course, you know what true Christian is. Yeah, and yet nobody can seem to define it without actually accepting those sort of people. Yeah.
Oh man, oh you love him listening to what he has to say. I mean, you know, just like William, you know, I said, hey man, you know, look, you go after trying to find the information on the, you know, the little Tasha deal, but you have to promise. You have to promise to make a video that, you know, find it or not. You have to promise. Okay, I will. And it doesn't happen. And it's just not. You know, there's no accountability. Just like these people making all these response videos. You know, they didn't listen to what we said. What we said was, this is our.
Yeah, your story, and yet you're saying this is the difference between saved and unsaved. I mean, you're saying one thing and then you're stepping on your own toes and then immediately next sentence. I don't think you understand what you are saying.
Story. This is our case. This is the way it works for us. You know, but and you won't see people, you know, coming back and saying, "Oh, well, actually, I did." I had one guy say, "My bad. That was a personal testimony." See, but there's like one out of what, you know, hundreds. One guy came back.
And why is a personal testimony acceptable in the first place, anyways? That's nothing more than hearsay and anecdotal evidence. So, why is your testimony valid, and yet it doesn't apply to everyone, and yet you say most atheists don't have character anyways? Okay.
Back and said, "Oh man, you're right. That was a personal testimony. My bad, I missed that." You know, but it's so uncommon. It's strikingly amazing to see an atheist with integrity. That is shocking. It really is.
Then you don't know any atheists. I know lots of them that have integrity and character. That's why I'm friends with lots of them, because I like the way they are.
Shocking, and you know, more often.
You know what's shocking is actually to find a televangelist on TV that actually has character, who actually is actually doing the so-called work of God without actually scamming anyone. Maybe something is that you ought to think of.
Often than not, because you don't have God. Look, the whole issue with the Latasha pastor disaster thing is about lying. It boils down to lying. Okay, that's what it's about. Lying. And everybody's jumping. Why are you attacking him? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And the guy is a pathological liar. It doesn't matter to you.
Personally, I really don't give a shit about this whole Latasha business. That's whatever got your panties in a wad. You know, whatever.
Because you're of your father, the devil. The devil's calling the shots in your life. And the devil is the father of lies.
Yeah.
So it's one big lying family.
Okay, then prove to me that that you're not deceived by the devil. If the devil has the power to deceive and make you believe whatever, then how do you know that you're not being deceived by the devil? Maybe Christianity is the work of the devil. You ever thought of that? No, you wouldn't consider that. Because, so what? You believe in the devil. Doesn't keep him from deceiving you. That's just a thought.